what does your mom do for work?
She does a blog.
What is that?
It is it's where she takes pictures of her food, what she cooks and stuff, and yeah.
So let's see if you can give us more detail on what your mom does for work.
Well, she runs a blog, and yeah.
Would you be a blogger?
No,
Why not?
I don't have the skills. I don't know.
Just not for you, not in the cards.
Probably not. I don't know what I would do it about.
Welcome back to The How, where I make videos to help you along your journey towards a satisfying career or side hustle. In today's video, I want to share with you an interview I had with a very successful food blogger. That's a career that I think anybody could find success in, so let's jump into it and learn how they did it.
My name is Kara Cook, and I am the owner of the website Creations by Kara, and I have been blogging for about 12 to 15 years. Oh, a blogger can be so many things because it really depends on the type that you are. Because there are bloggers that are there for mental health. There's education bloggers, there's homeschooling bloggers, there's food bloggers, there's travel bloggers, there's pretty much anything that you love that somebody else loves, you can blog about it. And everyone has a different reason why they do it, but it's usually because you're passionate about something and you want to help someone else either be passionate about it or just learn about it, expose them to it, help people try new things. So I think a blogger really at the very basic core is someone who wants to help someone else get better at something or find a way to do it easier.
I know this started as a hobby, but it's a career now.
It did,
So.
yeah. So I originally just started because people kept calling me and texting me and asking me for my recipes, so I had to keep typing them up or finding a way to send them to them. And so I had a friend that just said, you should just make a blog and put your recipes on there. So I started it just as a family one. And then I started doing craft projects too, and then decided to start making it a little more serious. And so I registered a name and did all that. But it still took a few years before it was an actual business, before I knew what I was doing. So, yeah. But yeah, it did just start because people were asking for recipes. So
That's cool. It started really just like naturally.
Yeah, it just started naturally. That was a long time ago. There was no Pinterest. People didn't really share the business things on Facebook. Blogs were not really a thing that most people were familiar with.
Yeah.
My kids are all in school now. So typically after my youngest leaves on the bus, I work for a few hours and then take a break, do the household chores, do all that stuff. I guess first I start by, doing my things, exercise, get ready for the day, all that stuff. But so I work for a few hours, take a break, do household things, and then I have to start, in the afternoon is when I usually do my recipes, make them, because the lighting is the best. So make the recipes in the afternoon, take pictures of them, then it's time to make dinner, get back to the family, spend the evening with family, and then at night I go back and work again. So, but it varies a lot.
Yeah.
Every day is different. That's the nice thing, is because you're working from home, you can set your own schedule. I can work when I need to. I can take a long break if I need to. Things just kind of run for the most part without me now. I have a lot of things set up automatically where I can schedule them out, have posts ready to go. So it varies a lot, but that's kind of typical. I try to always have at least 2 weeks that are scheduled, but a lot of times I'll work on seasonal things and have them done. So I already have posts that are ready for Christmas.
Gotcha.
Because that's the busiest time of year, but it's also the most heavy traffic time of year.
Yeah.
So I don't want to be taking away time from my family. So I will schedule out like the holiday stuff during the summer. But it's not all totally done. So I have to do the final things on the posts, but they're mostly done. But I try to have at least 2 to 3 weeks that are just ready. It's because if you get behind, it's hard. But I have had times where I just didn't post that week, and it's fine because of social media. I still get just as much traffic. Having a website is a little bit different than YouTube, and I still get traffic from Google and Pinterest mostly, because most of the content that gets seen is not the content that you just published.
Right. Yeah.
It's the posts that have already gained traction.
Yeah.
Those are the ones that keep every year. Just people keep coming back for the same. Like there's seasonal recipes that every year, every Christmas, same recipes are popular.
I've heard that's called Evergreen content.
Yeah. Well, evergreen content is the content that's popular all the time, no matter what.
Yeah.
Like lemon cake, or I have a pound cake recipe, or dinner recipes. Like those, yeah, people will search for them all year long.
Yeah.
But there's also evergreen, I guess there's evergreen holiday content.
Stuff,
Yeah, that every Christmas people are looking for candy and cookies and pie. And so if you have a post that does well, it does well every year. Yeah, no, food, everybody likes food. It's always popular.
Same.
There are trends, but I don't usually post those because my family doesn't like them.
Yeah.
And that's what I focus on, is recipes that families like. When I first started, you didn't have to do anything. Like you just started and you just went for it. But now, because there is a lot more competition, if you're just starting, you have to be aware of some things before. Like you want to know where to host your site.
So where would you suggest someone go to learn the basics? Or have you found things that are helpful?
You can really find, there's so many places. You can just Google, how do I start a blog? And there will be bloggers who have posts about that. And there's thousands of them. So you can do that. You can go on Facebook. There's blogging groups, and there's conferences. Some of the conferences that I go to, some of the bloggers are like, I don't even have a post yet. I just came to learn what to do. So really, there's so many resources available. But if it was me starting, I would just start Googling and finding like just tips and tricks from people who are already seasoned bloggers. They will tell you what you have to do to be successful right out of the gate.
Could you attach a rough time frame to go from new to you can stand on your own 2 feet as a blogger?
It depends on what your goal is. So my husband has a career that totally supports our family. Like all my income is extra. So I don't work as hard and put as much into it as other people who are maybe single moms and it's their only income. And so if it's the only thing you're doing, you're gonna spend more time at it, you can get there faster. So it depends on what your end goal is and how much time you can devote. Because the more time that you can devote to it, the faster you can be successful and start making money. But it also depends on what your niche is. Some things are easier, like fashion bloggers, they can make money really quickly because people are going to their websites to buy. Where if you do something where you're teaching people a skill, you have to get traffic first because you're not selling something to them. So it totally depends on what you're blogging about, how quickly you can make money and how quickly it becomes a business. So that varies really widely too. For the first few months, and even for me, I probably did it for 3 to 5 years before I actually made real money. Like some people just make a few $1,000s a month or a few $100s a month. I have friends who are making $1 million a month.
Whoa. Wow.
Yeah. There's not a lot of them.
Yeah.
There's probably more. There's a lot that are in 6 figures a year though.
Yeah.
I have a lot of food blogger friends that are making a lot of money. Their husbands have quit their jobs. They work for them now. But some of it is work. Some of it is skill, and some of it is luck.
Yeah.
Sometimes you get something that just goes viral, gets picked up somewhere, and all of a sudden your traffic goes crazy, and then it gets picked up by a bunch of websites, and then you just do really well.
Yeah.
And sometimes you just work your way to it. So, but yeah, it varies a lot. It really does. It varies a lot. Most people are surprised when they find out, wait, what? But you can. You have to be willing to work though.
Yeah.
You can't give up at the beginning when you're working 80 hours a week and you're not making anything. You have to just keep going. And then eventually it usually pays off. If that's all you're doing is trying to make money, it won't sustain you because you burn out, because you don't love it. So yes, true. You have to love what you're doing. Wow, there's a lot I enjoy. I love teaching other people. Like, I love it when people will come back and leave a comment and say, I've never made a 2-layer cake before, but I tried this recipe and it turned out perfect. I made it for my grandma. She loved it. It's the best cake recipe ever. So I love that when people get success. I also post tutorials. I'll have people that stop by and say, oh my gosh, thank you so much for sharing that tip about painting. It went so much faster and I was able to decorate my house on a budget. So I love it when people try the things that I do and they have success. So I love that, but then I also love the people I've met. I go to conferences, I have friends that I love. They're just amazing people that I've met that I would not have ever come across if I hadn't have started blogging. So I love the food blogging sphere. Well, and the DIY. Like, they're just good people. And so I've made a lot of friends. So I also love that.
Cool. That's very cool.
I mean, and the money's nice too.
Yeah. But it's not your first priority.
Right, it is not. For some people, it's more of a priority, but for me, I can do it because I love it. It's really nice when you can find something to make money that you actually really, truly enjoy. Yeah. Like, I do it on my free time sometimes because I like it. Balancing time. Because I'm a mom, and I'm a grandma now too, and I'm a wife, and I have church callings, I help at the school, so I'm pulled in so many directions. It's hard. That's the hardest thing, is trying to find a balance between how much time should I spend on work and when do I need to step back and let it go and spend time with my family. So that's the hardest for sure.
Have you found that having a set time of day is helpful to you?
Most of the time, yes. I find that I'm most productive in the morning. Yeah. So that's when I try to get the things done that I have to, like writing up the posts. So that's when I try to do that. But then I have to be flexible too. But I usually do have certain things that I do during a certain time of day. Like late at night when I'm more tired, I can edit photos because that does not involve a lot of thinking, brain capacity. I can just sit there, edit, crank them out. So yes, I do have certain times of day that I set aside. That varies a lot too, around 20 most of the time now. I cut my hours back a lot when my family's home. So summer, I don't have the time. So it's a lot less. But then when everybody's gone, it's sometimes closer to 40. It kind of sustains itself a little better. Like when I first started, I guess when I first started really taking it serious and was trying to get things going, I would spend like 40 to 60 hours a week. And now I don't have to. So but it does vary on time of year. I think it's going to be around for a long time because I think people love the human interaction, to be able to go, like everybody wants to learn how to do new things. And that's what bloggers like to share, is how to do new things. I know myself personally, as a consumer, I trust a blogger more than I trust a company trying to sell me something. So if a blogger tells me, I love this paint, or I love this chocolate, or I love this whatever, I will believe them more because they're not trying to sell me something. So I know that they're going to be honest versus a company saying, this paint is the best, or whatever. So I think that's not going to go away. And some people will say, well, the market is saturated, there's too many bloggers, there's no place for people that are new. I don't think that's true. Everybody has their own unique take on whatever it is they're doing, and so everybody has a voice. And as long as you love what you're doing and you want to share that voice, there's a place for you.
There's not a limit.
There's not. No. Just because there's never a limit to how much you can learn or how much you can teach. But still, I mean, even in that, how many cop shows are there? An infinite number. How many romantic comedies are there? They're like, because everybody likes something just a little bit different. So It's fine.
What advice would you give to someone who's interested in pursuing the same career?
I would say if you think you're going to love it, go for it, but do your research first. So do your research, find out the best way to start so that you make the most of your time right from the start and you don't have to keep going back and changing things. It's a fun thing to do. Once you figure out the ropes, it's enjoyable, I think. If you don't like it, you'll know when you start, I hate this, and then it's not for you. And there are people who do that. They're like, I think I'm gonna do this, and then they start it, and they're like, I don't like it. I don't want to do this. So, but I think it's worth a start. It's worth a try. I like it when people come back and let me know that something that I shared with them made their life better. I love that. I love it if I can make someone's life better. I mean, that's just it's a great feeling. It's a happy moment. Well, I always cooked. Like, I started cooking when I was a kid. So I've always had that skill and I always enjoyed it. The DIY part of the website, I taught myself. Like, I was scared. We lived in a house probably for 10 years before I would hang anything on the wall because I was afraid I was going to do it wrong. And so I finally was like, I have to learn how to do this. So I started asking people and I started Googling how do I paint this dresser that I bought at the thrift store or whatever, and I taught myself. So getting over the fear of trying new things early on, I think that helped me to become a better blogger. Instead of just like, oh, I don't know if I can do that, I better not try. It was like, well, I'll try it, and if it doesn't work, it's fine. I'll try again. Yeah. I've always been a really organized person, and that helps as a blogger. Again, because you have so many things. You have to do SEO, you have to do pictures, you have to do editing, you have to write about things in a way that makes people interested. I designed my own logo and I designed my own website and I had to learn HTML, and like there's just so many things that you have to do. Being organized helped me maintain some sanity. You have to be able to relate to people. You have to have a decent knowledge of the English language. Spell check can only take you so far.
Yeah.
Pants with holes in them.
Not a fan?
They don't bother me too much, but I don't wear them.
Yeah.
Because I think it's annoying to have little loose strings. So yeah, I'm not a fan of wearing them myself, but it doesn't bother me when other people do.
Good.
The scariest movie I watched as a kid was actually one we watched at school. It was about like water safety, and they had a babysitter that burned a kid in the tub, and I was a babysitter, and so I had nightmares for months.
Oh, dang.
It was pretty graphic.
Yeah.
They didn't filter things back then like they do now. So yeah, that one. Crazy. Crazily enough. Yeah.
What's something that used to be trashy that is now considered very classy?
Ripped pants.
That's what I said.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah.
You're
Definitely.
your mom's son.
Yeah, I know, right? It's crazy.
I gotta stick to my 45-minute time.
Okay.
So I'm gonna make
Okay.
myself shut up.
I just realized I probably should have spit my gum out.
Oh, I didn't even notice.
Okay. Well, good.
Yeah. Whatever.
Thank you so much for watching. I hope this video was helpful. The main takeaway that I got from talking with Kara is that to be a successful blogger, you really need to be passionate about your subject. So if you have something that you're passionate about and want to share it with other people, it may start as a hobby, but who knows, it could turn into something that is wildly successful for you. You can see here what personality type Kara has, and if you haven't already, make sure to take the personality quiz to find out what type you are and see if this could be a potential match for you. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this video was helpful. If it was, click the like button below and please share this with someone that you think could benefit. I know there's a lot of moms out there that would love to be a blogger. They just don't know how to do it yet. Make sure to hit the subscribe button below to follow along with the latest videos on hobbies, opportunities, work, and how to find the right career fit for you.
Bye.